a lot of homes in Nigeria, your parents will live with you.
Because your children are your retirement plan.
Sort of.
Guess what? If you look at the numbers, the parents that are most entitled to their children's earnings are parents that didn't even make sacrifices. When you look at it, deep it.
It's a shame to a family when the children are doing very okay and the parents are barely eating. You will have more selfish parents. Hello everyone, you're welcome to our podcast From X and Z with Love. Thank you for joining us on our journey where we're trying to bridge the gap between Gen X and Gen Z and bringing you the best of both worlds. Jen, how are you today?
I'm sleepy.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Don't sleep. Don't sleep.
Please, let's kiss Daniel. How are you
know that's my favorite Nigerian artist.
Do you know that meme, that video where it says, with the hand that God gave you, you left Whiskey, you left Davido, you left, and with the hand that the good Lord gave you, somebody say amen, you went to kiss.
Yeah, I think I noticed that whenever you go to any party or I'm attending any party, and they play Kiss, every matured
woman.
Yeah, we are not old though. We are matured. Yes.
Very mature.
All of us will get up and dance.
Kiss makes music
so there
for
was
the
something
aunties.
that he's doing.
He just makes music for the aunties.
Oh,
man.
we're good with that. We're fine with it. Just perfect for us. So yes, shout out to Kiss. So, welcome to today's podcast.
Thank you very much.
Your highs and lows for the week.
Well, where are my highs and lows for this week? This week was good because I caught up with a lot of my friends. Work wasn't too crazy. I had a kerfuffle with someone at work. Work people, right? Anyways. But yeah, that was the low of the week. The high of the week was I connected with a bunch of my friends very randomly. Not like I planned it, but I just noticed that over the course of the week, I spoke to a bunch of like my different friends, and it was very interesting for me. Oh, a friend of mine sent me a dessert package, like a package with pastries. That was really fun. That was really fun as well. Because if you love me, send me pastries.
Pastries?
Yeah.
How cheap are you?
Hey, now
okay, so my week was quite interesting too. I was in class twice this week.
Oh yeah.
I had 2 different sessions. One was on employee engagement, and there's a lot to talk about there. So that session was epic.
You want to engage people you are underpaying if are not rich.
No.
Organizations are not ready.
I don't think it's about. I've seen people that took a pay cut just to work in a particular organization because of some of the things they're offering.
So culture is different from engagements. So they're going there for the culture, doesn't mean engagements. I feel like on a fundamental level, once...
Is there only salary that makes you engage?
No, but once remuneration is poor, right, especially significantly poor, culture can keep you, right, even if remuneration is poor. However, you may not be as
eventually your spirit will leave.
Your spirit will leave. Like, you won't be that engaged. Because they're telling you to come and let's have pizza after work. When
the transport to the place is an issue.
Yeah. Or like things like when they say, lots of workers use shuttlers now. So when organizations want to do like TGIFs or things after work, it's like, okay, but like my shuttlers will go. So will you prefer Uber for my to Jack on day or what?
Oh my
because
God.
Shuttlers will not take us at 9 p.m. when people are rounding up. So can we really bond if there's no money?
For me, one of the employee engagement scenarios that I've seen is an organization where they're having a hangouts and they have you have to, what's this list called now? Where you write your name.
Okay. Intro tags?
No. I mean, you have to actually clock in and...
Okay.
There's like a...
And the hangouts?
Yes. Because people don't want, you can see how disengaged.
So why is it? But no, that now is the whole purpose. Because which one is I need to read like the time you came and
you
everything.
have to that you appeared at that function.
Why
you have to
must I
write
appear?
down. For me, that was like, it's not just a red flag.
It's a problem because which
a
kind
mega
by force
problem.
TGS
You know, so
that
it's obviously a lack of engagement. So yes, I had
they
fun.
don't want to force.
I had fun at the session for employee engagement, and then the other session I had also. You know, I love being in class. It's always very engaging and.
You love a good yap session.
Yes. Okay. So the other one was on change management.
Ooh.
Yeah. So a lot of issues for microfinance institutions. Oh yeah, it was fun. I had a good time this week. Was
You were active.
Yes, very active. So yes, let's go to the topic of today.
What is the topic of today?
Drum roll. Is it the drum roll should come ahead?
Okay, what is the topic of today?
Yes. Do we owe our parents anything?
No.
No, I'm not too far from you. Sincerely, it's a topic that I think is very pertinent at this time. I've heard it in too many places, and close home, a couple of my friends have had this conversation with me to say that, what's going on? Where is this coming from? You know, we grew up knowing that we saw our parents take care of their own parents, yes? And then we grew up knowing that the next thing to do is, that's why we don't have all those homes, like a lot of homes in Nigeria. Your parents will live with you.
Because your children are your retirement plan.
Sort of, you know. So we're just hearing these things these days about, I even heard one lady came online. I don't know this talk about owing my parents anything. I don't owe them anything. They brought me into this world. I didn't ask to be brought into, and she just kept on and like, so
She's had it up to here, man.
Okay, so I don't know her particular
situation.
So let me not judge her on too much, yeah. But just generally, if you're speaking in generic terms, I just think that's so out of place. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about, of course, you know what we try to do on this podcast is bridge the
balance.
Gap. Yes, let's get
and there
balance.
Will be extremes.
And there would be extremes, yes. So I don't know what has been done to her to make her think like that. But off the bat, coming from my own perspective, like, something really wrong with this young woman. You know, that's what I would see. You know, but really, let's talk about it. Do children really owe their parents anything? Do they owe their parents? Let me give you an example. So one of the conversations I had recently was my friend telling me that his own friend had issues with his car. I think the engine or something. He needed about 500K to fix the car. And so while he was still battling with that, his son that lives with him bought a car worth about 15 million naira and then rented an apartment at Lekki. And so he now said, young man, and of course still goes out with his friends to hang out at a joint near their house, you know. And so I was like, young man, please, could you help your father out? I need 500,000 to get the engine of my car in place and do all of that sort. And the young man said, Pops, you know, I just rented a place. I need to furnish it. I have responsibility. I have things. It's still in the man's house. I have things to do, you know, and all of that. Come on. And my friend had to give him 200,000 to sort his car. Eventually, the boy, after plenty mouth on top of his matter, eventually gave his father 200,000. You know, like handouts. Me, I won't take that money. You know, just gave him 200,000 like handouts. Sorry. So, Gen Z, what is the issue? Why is the medulla not functioning as it should function?
So I think from the boy's perspective, as a lot of people know, when you have a major expense, like when you've just spent money, you first will recover from that money you just spent. So if I've just spent 15 million on a car, probably paid rent of nothing less than 3 million, service charge, and I don't even have a couch in my house. And now all of a sudden, so I'm still trying to put it together, trying to figure it out. I'm still recovering from, my savings has not even recovered from such, you know, an expense. And now it's starting to bring out 500K, right? It's not just, like, I need to do this, like, my father is asking me. It's a thing of like, this is a major sacrifice. So I think the first step is identifying that is actually a major sacrifice for that kid. And I think the parents, your generation, because you too, I'm sure you put mouth to the conversation and say, what kind of son is that? Your friend and the friend's friend. I think you guys saying that, he spent this amount of money. One, pocket watching, chill. Second, it's like, when someone has spent such an amount, that person does need to recover from it. So I can't remember how. I spent some significant money recently, and I was like, so he told me to come and buy shawarma. It's not as if the shawarma money would affect, but I was so cranky. I was like, in the middle of all what.
Okay, so what we're talking about here is what you are not acknowledging is the place of sacrifice.
Hear me out now.
Wait, you that you just said there, you are.
No, but you just finished talking. Now,
okay,
can I land?
Talk. But wait, I'm still very angry because I remember when I bought you Roche's, which was the beginning of in fact, I don't know how expensive from America. Hey God. Even when I didn't buy myself something as expensive as that, I said my daughter won Roche, I went to buy.
The fact that you guys are not even identifying that it's a sacrifice to begin with, because the comparisons are, but he's spending money going to hang out with his friends. It's like how people say, you're buying an iPhone, but you can't buy a car. Is the money of iPhone the money of car? No,
that's
it's not.
The point.
Hear me out. So,
his father is grounded.
Can I land?
Land. And fly again if you like.
What's it called? You people are not identifying that on a fundamental level. That is a sacrifice. The fact that you guys don't even see it as a sacrifice, like, you should just do it. I'm not identifying that as a sacrifice is already a fundamental problem for me because it is a sacrifice. Number one, now, a child's willingness, and I will always say this and I stand on this, is that a child's willingness to make a sacrifice for their family. There are certain things, which is why a lot of people that say, they bought a house for their this, they got to a level of comfort and they were like, let me do this for it wasn't a thing of, I suffered to do this thing for my parents. Can you not keep cutting me off? Because I will lose my train of thought. So if the father, just talk.
Okay. Now you are talking about the person that is buying house for their parents because they have abundance. What if the parents too treated the children like that when they were growing up? But if I don't have enough, I know and you know of an example of a parent. The woman and her husband, they dress very well. They buy a cricket for their children.
And there are lots of families like that. Number one, it's the fact that people are standing on this precedence that every parent is a sacrificial parent, which is a majority of parents are actually not sacrificial parents. And you see that by all the bambialas on the streets. You see by all the children hawking. So number one, not every parent is sacrificial.
No, I'm not talking about the ones that are not sacrificial.
No, but then the thing is, guess what? If you look at the numbers, the parents that are most entitled to their children's earnings are parents that didn't even make sacrifices. When you look at it, deep it. When you talk about black tax, a lot of people that are earning under 500k they are earning minimum wage and everything. You look at majority of their salary, it goes towards black tax. They are the people that actually pay towards their parents the most. Most people that are earning normally, right, average income, everything, they go work in the regular, everybody's working in VI, all those things. Their parents don't demand that much from them. So their black tax is not even that much. The people that have the highest black tax are the people that their parents didn't even invest that much in. So let's start from there. Second, I remember what I was saying earlier. When we say that, sacrificial giving and everything, right? I think it comes from a place of relationship. Now, people that don't have relationships with their parents, because as much as this is your parents, he sent you to school, he did this, he did that, and there's no innate relationship or bond. Right?
Expatiate.
So, for instance, now there are parents that they came in, and I don't blame them, right? Where, they work in a bank, for instance. They go from Monday to Friday. They come in at night, the children are sleeping. They don't really know the children. They send the children to boarding school during the holiday. They come in at night. They send the children to uni abroad. All those things that the children have, the ability to go to these good schools, them going abroad and everything, it was a result of that sacrifice. The coming home late, that was a sacrifice, right? Majority of the salary was going towards this, right? But in the bid to get the children comfortable, there was a sacrifice of the personal relationship being built. Now, when that parent goes abroad now to go and stay with their child, and they're bothered that, the child is not spending time with me. The child is not bonding with me. The child is not this. The child is not that. That relationship was not there. I came, my child didn't come and take me shopping, especially the kids abroad, because you know the suffering and slaving they used to get £1 in that country. So when you've done all that and there's not that personal relationship, again, I think a lot of Gen Zs well, a lot of people I know, I'm not even going to generalize it, work with planning, right? So there's the element of, okay, and there's this percentage of my salary that every month, especially Christians, I know we do a lot where it's like, okay, there's this bit of my salary that I'm going to give to my parents every month, right? Whether or not, usually it's even more symbolic than everything.
Where is my own?
If I throw
Where is
hands,
my own?
I've already told you now, it's because I'm not bringing cash and kneeling
Please
down.
bring it. Let me bless
When
you.
I do my transfers now, I will say that please send my blessing right now.
Please,
I
will send
I
it.
want my blessing in documented.
I
Please
will send the
document
money.
it.
Send the
Because
money.
I do, right? So a lot of people, they have like a set out, okay, there's this, it may not be significant, but it's again the symbolism of it to say that, okay, I'm giving to my parents. Now, in that, okay, I'm giving to my parents, if the parent brings a bill out of nowhere, like
What do you mean out of nowhere? Did the man spoil his car by himself?
500, your engine knocks, bring out money. If you don't bring it out, you're a bad person. Especially when you have just experienced a major expense. It puts in a precarious position now. Because guess what? Yeah, again, this sacrifice I was talking about, where it's not just like, okay, you're sacrificing this money. Number one, that's probably like 3 to 6 months that he's not gonna have furniture in his house. So probably he the house that he probably bought to host his friends, have a good time, he can't even do any of that for the next 6 months, because is he going to host them sitting on the background? No. So the investment that he made in the house self is already even wasting on that because
you
of
should
this
go and lie
sacrifice.
down and sleep on this mattress there.
Because
so are
of
you
the
trying to
sacrifice.
tell me now that, let me tell you how it works.
I think the relationship is key. That the relationship that the parent has built with their child will determine how, how generous the child is with you.
Not necessarily, and I'll tell you that. There's an example that I know and you know. The father is very wealthy. He has given his daughter the best of everything, international education and everything. And would you say that that man has not cared enough for his daughter, for the daughter to now be saying that she can't give
So in that
her
case,
first salary?
So in that case, right? In that case, I understand where you're coming from, because it's like, it's not that deep. I think it's also a level of relationship and trust in your parents that, will my parents actually leave me to be broke? Because her first salary is actually a lot. Like that, I think somebody will work for 1 month and not see the salary.
Excuse
Right?
me.
But then for
Her
me
schooling
now,
abroad is a lot.
yes,
the school fees is a lot.
Great. But my question here is for me now, I know that if I drop my first salary, will I be hungry? No. Because guess what? Even if I want to go and buy food outside, there's nothing. It's your wallet I will go to, and I'll bring out that money and I'll go and buy it. Right? But if there's not that relationship of trust that no matter the matter, my mother will try not leave me to, so she will not look at me starving and leave me. I won't say I want to go and hang out with my friends and she will not give me money, even though I dropped my first salary. I won't want to go and do this thing and she won't give it to me. Do you get? I feel like that's where it's a bit heartbreaking for parents, where they're like, oh, this child cannot think. It's the mindset of the children that's more painful. And the thing is, you cannot query the mindset your child has about you, because that mindset is built based on your relationship. There's certain things that, like,
Not necessarily all the time.
not all the time. There's always exceptions.
all the time.
But for a good
There are
amount of
some
time,
people
it's
that-
because you guys haven't gotten to the point where your child trusts you enough that no matter what, no matter the matter, right? My
Are
child,
you
my
now
parents is going to have
putting
my back.
all the responsibility of that relationship on the parents?
I think it is a parent's responsibility to build a relationship. Yes.
It's
I
not
think-
all.
I
There's some
think it is
parents
the
that
parents'
have done their
responsibility
best.
to extend the olive branch and to make that relationship work.
So I'm telling you, some parents have done all they
Especially
know how
until
to
the child
do.
is then like grown enough, like maybe like late teens, to now know that, okay, yeah, I'm not supposed to. I think till that very point, it is the parents' responsibility
You are not-
to
It's how
build the relationship.
Yoruba says that it's a child that raises the hand that will be carried.
No,
Okay, don't raise your hand.
I think that parents should carry their child. If you like, the child should sound like it's carry your child. It's not your own. It's not your own. Did you borrow the child?
It's not
carry
as
the child.
simple as that.
I feel like parenting, the act of parenting, is a sacrificial exercise from beginning to end. It's sacrifice on
I
sacrifice.
like the word you use, sacrificial.
Yes, you
so the
chose
parents
it.
have been
You chose that. Excuse me, did I impregnate you?
have not seen.
Did I
Have you not
impregnate
seen?
you?
Listen to me. Have you not seen children that they are like I said? Even that my friend, that person that I know, she's wearing designer wears and everything, and all her children are always in Yaba,
And they're fine.
Okirika.
They didn't die.
I
They're
hear.
fine. But guess what? That same person will come and expect her child to pay her rent next year. As how now?
No, but guess what? We're the ones looking at it like that. So, for instance, now, a parent, I know a friend of mine, she was supposed to become PS in Alausa. She left and took off to America with her husband. Want to give these children a better life. You know what I always tell them these days? Please, that wherever you are, wherever your hand reach, give them the better life like that. You can see what hurts a lot of parents is that I made sacrifices because of these children. A lot of parents don't actually live their lives the way they would love to live it.
Also,
I'm not done.
A lot of parents don't communicate that.
Okay?
A lot of parents don't communicate. You are there
now.
making sacrifice in the background, and I'm supposed to just know you're there suffering and making sacrifice. How am I supposed to know? Communicate.
Now.
Again, it's the relationship, because if you have a good relationship with your parents, you know what's happening. You know that I'm up for perm circle, want to relocate because of you guys. These are the issues. If you have that relationship with your parents, you guys will have those conversations. And it's like, we're praying about it, but this is
it's not in every family that have the privilege of that communication. But what the parents try to do is make sure that I give the best options to this child.
You know, there's also a thing
which is a lot of sacrifice for a lot of parents.
So you know how we say that some people are worried about like how they look, right? Do you know that I think a lot of parents are worried about how they look to their children? Lots of parents are running a rat race to make ends meet and to make their children comfortable, but they don't let their children know that. They like to be like, I'll provide.
No,
they don't
because
let them know. So the child is oblivious to all this sacrifice.
Let me tell you again. The problem with letting the children know is that some children now take it to heart, and then they become wayward to say, you know what, this sacrifices my parents are making at home. Let me help my parents. Some go and start doing yahoo. Some go and start doing prostitution. You don't want that.
People that are doing yahoo and prostitution, it's not because they are supporting their parents. The life is soft.
No, I'm serious. There's some children that will go that route to say that, you know what, my parents are, this sacrifice is too much.
If you have a good relationship value system and you're communicating clearly.
Now again, so you don't want the children, and then there's this thing we say that you don't want the children to know what level of sacrifice so that it doesn't affect them psychologically.
But then you want the children to reciprocate the same type of sacrifice where they don't
not
know
even
what
the
they're
same
supposed
time.
to reciprocate.
What the parents are just asking for is
we are saying
yes.
Bring back our girls.
You know, this is more than girls, though. It's more than bringing back the girls. It's bringing back that value system where my mother's generation, for instance, and most of my generation, is like you already know that at least I'm putting something aside. I'm giving my parents something to help out, especially if maybe one parent is not alive and no support. Do you understand?
Okay, so
this is what, let me tell you. So this is what usually happens in my generation. This person has like 4 kids or 5 kids. So all the kids will say, okay, monthly, we'll do this.
Which I agree with, which is the monthly thing. I'm saying that even already in our generation, a lot of kids actually put aside a certain amount to give to their parents.
So for instance,
come, because again,
things will
my
come.
generation also just doesn't like abrupt change.
But
right?
the man plan to spoil his car.
Okay, so why did now become my responsibility?
Because you are the child. Now this man is not earning as he used to. See, when he could earn, he had earning power. He could go around and sort himself out like he would do. So, but the honor for us in Africa and to make sure that why do you think they sacrifice so much to make sure that their children are in good positions, good jobs?
So that means it was never a selfless thing. It wasn't out of care for the parents. It was an investment plan.
It's part of, we're all joined.
It wasn't, I love my child so much and I want the best for my child.
I'm also investing in them.
No, I'm putting this money down so that when you make it, you're going to come take care of me.
Because guess what? A rich person in the midst of poor people is also poor. All of them will take from that person and make the person poor. So if you don't take care of your children, if you don't sort them out and make sure that they are okay, then how are they going to help you when you grow up?
So that's a weird mindset to have.
It's not weird.
Doing it to have help in
the
future.
Children, the delinquents, they don't have money. They don't have good jobs. Then how are they going to sort you out when you are old?
And so that's what I'm saying, that why are you planning for people that don't have children now, they should just fall on the wayside and die.
If they are investing in other people, which is the seed time and harvest time principle I believe in.
Why are you people's investment into people? Can't you invest in stocks and bonds and get return?
When first bank crashed the other time, if your father did not have God, you should have enter stockhouse and killed himself there. When everything crashed, do you understand? Those things can fail. But when you have your child, you know that my child will make sure that I'm not on the streets begging.
But I guess so. You won't be. Nobody say you'll be on the street though. You
So
may not
when the
have
man
car,
has that,
but
God
you will not be
forbid.
on the street.
So you know what I tell you? Know what? God forbid. Do you understand? And the girl is carrying the Birkin. My one Birkin, I saw no. I will come and collect. You that I was buying Rocher, that me I was not wearing shoe as expensive as that time. I will come and carry that Birkin. You that you know how many clothes you used to take to university? Don't even try me.
So everybody carry clothes, you would have gone naked.
No, the quantity of clothes you were carrying, forget it. You know the designer. Whoa, what a baby try it.
No,
Then you know
excuse
the kind.
me, we are
So
not talking
imagine
about
your
our
life
size here.
now.
We're
You
not talking
carry Birkin now, and you I will seize it. You should just miss. What if I come to your house? The Birkin will miss. No, I'm serious.
not
On a
talking
more
about
serious note.
ourselves.
No, on a more serious note. When a parent is not that they're just doing that investment. I'm investing in this child so that when I finish investing in this child,
Yes, now the person that start paying us monthly returns. That's
it's
what people
a
are
shame.
doing.
It's a shame to a family when the children are doing very okay and the parents are barely eating.
Okay, so you know that thing you said about like, oh, you don't want like kids to have like feel this pressure to do like all these untoward things and everything. But that still happens when we're growing, because guess what? We know what the economy is saying. We know what the employment status of the country is. A lot of children are barely making it by, right? I complain to you all the time about how I could save before I can't save anymore. The money situation gets crazier, as time goes by. So it's a thing of, if a parent sees that this child is really struggling, and if genuinely you are saying that, oh, we didn't tell this child this at the beginning, or even this child knew, but we don't want them to carry that burden. At the end of the day, they end up carrying that burden, running from pillar to post to sort out needs of, they've not even resolved their own needs, but the needs of themselves, their younger siblings.
You know
right?
what?
Which is the pressure of the Ada.
Now,
you know
see,
the whole Ada culture, for instance.
It's
a
extreme
burden.
I don't like. The extreme, we'll get to that when we're trying to bridge the gap.
First,
but the truth is that, the reality is that every child, because you see what goes around comes around. Even you say, I don't want to have children, I don't want to do this, you're still going to get old. And when you get old, you might not have the same earning power. I always advise people, my own solution is that sort yourself out. Don't wait for anybody.
Okay, now you're sorting yourself out. So why are you stressing me? Are you not stressing yourself out?
I'm not stressing you, but you know that me is God that takes care of me.
It's not even a thing of stressing. You're not stressing me now, obviously. Then there is the
In
expectation.
future, I will not stress you. Because guess what? I am abundantly provided for by Jehovah Jireh.
So can't they provide for your friends
Everybody
too?
does not have that mindset.
Then you need to see, this is why you're doing training. Start educating your friends.
No, but I need to educate your generation that you see, the children that you people are going to have. Oh. In fact,
if they have kids,
there will be children around, whether it's their own or their neighbor's own. The children are going to be, in fact, let's
no, but I think it's also a thing of, because our generation already kind of had that mindset of like, oh, like the parents shouldn't be entitled to that from their kids. I've seen a lot of parents that talk about it, like people raising kids right now that talk about it, that they have social media platforms dedicated to that, where they're like, my kid doesn't owe me anything. They say that. They don't expect anything from their children.
Now, it's a change in culture, but let's now x-ray the possible problems that will come up with that.
Tell me.
You will have more selfish parents. Some children will suffer. Say you are still seeing someone on the road talking. Some go you will have more selfish parents. Because they'll just be looking at, if I do this one now, this one will not do anything. So you know what? I'm here right now. Let me live my life.
So no, I think
instead of you to go to private school, you will go to public school.
No, I think it's also a thing of my generation deciding that like, I'm not going to have kids until I have the financial capacity to take care of those kids without needing sacrifice.
How long?
Gnashing of teeth.
In
because
this generation, in this economy now, if you are waiting, I see a lot of young men I'm counseling, I'm talking to them, get married. They say,
they need to have money. Because you get married and have kids, and then you're now there saying, oh, do I fly to Santorini or pay school fees? And you are not here saying, oh, I would have enjoyed my days of youth, but then I have to pay school fees.
Yes,
right? And you would be growing up kind of resenting the kids or feeling entitled to whatever those kids become. When it should be a thing of, I can't go to Santorini and pay my kids' school fees if I waited 5-10 years. Man, freeze your eggs and do it when you're comfortable.
That's another conversation. So you are realizing that time is going.
Yeah, which is
I
why
love
science is already
late
advancing.
Fela Anikulapo and one famous song. My friend say one by fan, param param. He was saving, he save. By the time that the money was complete, the price of fan had gone up. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The rate at which inflation is going now, you are waiting till you have it all your eggs. Now, for some people, it will happen like that.
Yeah.
But for some people, it won't happen like that. So, should they not live their lives?
But it should not be entitled now. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's not an entitlement.
Do you not
If
feel
there's an
entitled to
entitled
the
generation, it is this Gen Z generation. They're so entitled.
So-
I didn't bring myself into the world. Now I'm here. You need to take care of me. You need to do that.
I didn't though.
So, what if the parents too are like that?
They did that was.
We have brought you here. Now you must produce. Is it the egg or the chicken?
Did you bring slaves? Is this slave
So,
before this be children?
now that you are here,
But to be fair, if you think about it, let me tell you, I think this has very huge roots into Africans as our culture. Because you know what? Before there was white collar jobs and civilization and all of that, right? Africans, we were farmers. And why do men used to marry many wives and have many children so that they had more people to tend to the farm. So they had children for the purpose of working and getting returns on them. Having children was and feeding them and sending them to whatever was an investment into farming equipment, if anything. Who was going to pack all the harvest? They have a big farm. Who's going to do all of that?
they even left that space for a while.
But that mindset is still there.
No.
That you are having children.
No, you are saying
Because,
that-
okay, tell me.
I just said I am more entitled generation than Gen Z.
Have you never talked about or spoken about any child, any friend of yours or any person you know that doesn't have a child and you're telling them to consider adoption? Why? So that they'll have somebody to take care of them.
Take care of them. Take care of them. Now, listen to me. Take care of them. It's not financial. No. It's not just financially. Emotionally also. It's not just about financially. There was a woman that died about 2 years ago that I went with Shafi to the burial, and the woman didn't have any children. But her husband now married another wife, and she raised all the children of her whatever. It is just the other woman's children that buried that woman. Why? She was a mother to them. They financed the whole burial. They did everything for that woman. In fact, I don't know, maybe their own mother, I can't remember, maybe their own mother is still alive or is gone. I don't think they would have done anything better for their mom than they did for that woman.
So that's another thing where it's the things that we value, I was oh my God, they will do for us. I don't think my generation values it that much. Half of people want to get cremated.
Who is going to pay for the cremation?
I don't need this mega celebration of life.
I don't believe in marriages, whatever. I don't want to have a wedding for my child now or a burial ceremony for my parents where we have 1,000 people. What's going on?
What are we doing?
I don't believe in that also. That is me. But generally, I'm just saying that burial ceremony was conducted by those children for that woman. And she wasn't their biological mother. Do you understand what I'm saying? But it just shows that, you see, life's journey is not meant to walk alone. You're not meant to walk it alone. So if you have a spouse, thank God for that. If you don't have a spouse, if you have children, it's still some succor to you. Yeah. Do you understand? So I think that for me, the entitlement should not be on both sides. It should just be, for me, I think that children owe their parents a duty of care. Now, I'm not saying that I don't like the Ada thing whereby she has started, because there's a young lady I know now, she has a good job, she's working, she's a first daughter, she can't even buy a car.
Because you can't generate wealth when you've started your life with so much responsibility.
She can't even buy a car because she's taking care of her siblings.
I see him.
Do you see that? Now, those extreme of now having 6 children and expecting the first one to take care of all of them, I'm not part of that. But let's look at the kind of, I've told you one of the problems that will come with this mindset of, you know what, everybody hold your side. You would have more selfish parents. You will have more dysfunctional families. That's the truth.
How so?
Aha. Children are not sending. Parents are not sending. More emotional detachment. It won't work. That's what we have abroad. And I'm telling you again and again, especially in Europe, they're there by themselves, or going to grocery stores by themselves. The children are somewhere else. They've not seen their parents in a year, 5 years.
They don't have that family. They're not family oriented. They don't have that sense of community.
When they get old, they suffer for it. Some die in their houses. Nobody knows. Winter will come and just kill them like that. Nobody's visiting. Nothing is happening.
I think I can't remember who said it. I think the cost of community is sacrifice. And we need community, whether it's your family or friends. But the cost of that community is sacrifice, whether it's financial,
on both sides,
whether it's time. Yeah, on both sides. Right. So I do think.
So we're not done with the problems, though. Okay. I've said, can you think about any
of the problems that will come?
Yes, from this mindset of I don't owe my parents anything. I said more selfish parents, more dysfunctional families.
I can think of problems that can come from parents being overly entitled.
So say yours.
I think problems that come from parents being overly entitled is one, there's the pressure, an insane amount of pressure on the children, right? Which is where we talked about them going into some wayward lifestyles just to find out there's so many Yahoos that talk about, I'm doing this for my mama. Get my mama answer they get. So it's such a thing, it's such a popular thing because of that pressure. Or have siblings to take care of. There are girls that marry men there's no love. They're there because this man has the bag and they have siblings and parents to take care of. That responsibility puts so much pressure on them. That's one. It kind of limits your ability to build wealth in the sense that it's always, okay, for instance, people that don't necessarily marry early, there's a reason why people say financially you have a certain head start. You're not paying school fees. You're all your money is your own. So you can live within your means, invest, save, make certain financial decisions and everything. But if you already have the financial responsibility of somebody that is married or somebody that has a child already because you're catering to certain needs in your household, it is a burden as well. So it limits your ability to build wealth. And so you find that you've been working for about 10 years, but then you don't really have anything to show for it.
And so a very important point that we are not talking about is, do I owe my parents anything? Is not just about the financial now. Mm-hmm. It's the emotional.
So again, I think for that particular thing, that emotional part, it's something. It's based on the relationship. You can't invest financially.
So for me,
you can't invest financially and want to reap emotionally. That's not how it works.
So I think that so what if you invest emotionally? Can you?
So it tends to happen like that. When we invest emotionally, when parents invest emotionally, right? Maybe for reasons that they didn't even have the financial capacity to invest, but they had this mother that was encouraging them, that was there for them. When they then have the financial capacity, it has returns, financial returns and emotional returns. That tends to happen. That is why I'm saying that it's not I sacrificed, I was going.
But there was sacrifice.
No, there was sacrifice. But I'm saying that when making the sacrifices, with this now in mind, I think parents need to think more about investing in actually being present in their children's lives and building relationships with their children. As if it's an order of priority, I think relationship and spending time with that child comes before even just, I'm not present, but there's this ghost that's sending money and putting me through life. So, because guess what? What would then happen is when you're now grown, as the adult, the parent has made this sacrifice, maybe they're in retirement now, they have time. You can't then come and be like, spend time with me and so no, it is now a thing of, you now need to, that relationship that you still didn't build that time, you still need to come and build it. Because either way, you can't skip that process. That relationship needs to be built. Because you gave birth to me doesn't bring the relationship. That relationship needs to be built.
Calm down. Gen Z, calm down. Entitled generation. On a lighter note, if you came across some extra money, your generation, what would be your go-to activities? Maybe top 3 things that you do.
So if someone in my generation had an extra 5K, for instance, what would
10K.
you? Or 10K, what would be the go-to just to... Give me an example of something from your generation.
My generation, we'll go to either an eatery and buy chicken and chips.
Chicken and chips would be good too. Not amala, not abula.
No, I'm tertiary, all those things.
What who told you
I personally,
I take offense. Why? Who said?
I personally would buy club sandwiches. You know that. But the general public would probably just do chicken and chips. Was a big thing in our time.
Gonna go on.
Come on. we're trying to leave the colonial masters. So those is now we're going back to those things, kokoro, all these things. I saw Dodo Ikiri last 2 weeks, and I ate it like it was going out of fashion because I haven't seen that thing in 20 years or so. I'm like, this is Dodo Ikiri right here in Lagos. Shout out to those vendors, man. Lagos vendors, they are, in fact, there's nothing that they don't do. So yes, but back in the days, chicken and chips. You know, that's what we see now.
I think my go-to, if I had some spare money, it would be double Chickwiz meal. Double Chickwiz meal.
Then back in the 90s, I think that if some guy just got some extra money, there's this place they call Ultimate Homeboys, Joe Elegba. If you didn't go there, you're not a boy. You know, all those baggy pants, all those stuff, they'll go and buy. Yes, the baths. They'll go for the baths. And then the girls will probably go and do their hair somewhere in Surulere or Allen. Those were the hubs for Surulere, hold on tight, more than Allen. We had a few places on Allen, but Surulere, you think that you're in America. Different haircuts, different hairstyles, they were ready. So fix your nails, do your hair. So yes, they'll do that. I think if they had any extra money, they would do that.
If you have extra money, MTN, Airtel, you will buy data.
Your generation is
buy data because guess what? It will finish. You will just be buying it.
Then another thing that my generation used to do, I know that if they, back then, of course, everybody will have their portion of food and everything. If they have any extra money like this, I'm a cornflakes baby. I grew up with cornflakes, and I didn't used to eat it, but if they give me, I'll just rinse it down the drain. But I was cornflakes, So anything that they really liked, maybe it's chicken, maybe it's fish. Once they get money like this, they'll go and buy that thing, fry it, eat to their heart. Is it not the chicken? Some people is Bonvita and Milo or those kind of things. There is this thing we used to call mixture that we used to have back in the days in secondary school. You mix, there are different types of mixture. You mix Milo and sugar and milk, dry, and you eat it.
Oh, okay.
Then we had milk and sugar. That's another version. Then we had sugar, and then we had only just Milo and milk. If you have money, you just buy it and pour it and call a party. You are feeling, if it's, whatever it was. Some people like fish. They'll go and fry, they'll buy the fish, fry it. Our mom will be giving us one fish. Please, let's eat fish to our heart's delight. Some people is, so, it was a thing like, whatever it was that you were passionate about, if you had any little money, like, even if it's akara, you go and buy plenty and just eat it.
I think I can't even think of anything generic that anyone else would like, because I think they're not very niche things. So some people into fashion will go thrifting, right? They're very niche things. But I don't know. Me, I probably have ended up giving it to charity or something. Or I'll give somebody the money last if I have extra money. The bridge is Gen Xers needing to invest emotionally in their kids and build relationships with their children, because there's some people that they will ask you for money and you can't tell your guys, how now, who is this person asking me, what's the meaning of that, right? And that same amount, even in that conversation, like your friend, because there's a relationship, will ask you for that money and without thought you would give it to them, right? The fact that there's even a thing of why is this person even asking me is because there's a lack of relationship, where in your generation it was a sense of duty. It was a thing of whether my parents like me, whether I like them, whether we talk or not, I have to do this. But we don't see it that way anymore. So it's a thing of I can choose not to. So if I am choosing to, it's because I have this relationship with this person, so I want to do this for this person, whether they ask or not, whether they need to. This is something I want to do for this person. Do you understand? So I think the Gen Xers need to invest more in relationships with their children and communication. I can't know what you don't tell me. Invest in communication, invest in relationship building, and all of that. And I think for the Gen Zs, it's just be kind to your parents. I think there's something I keep saying that helps me humanize my parents more. I think also, your generation because you saw your parents like that, to a large extent, there's something of I'm God. Daddy comes in, everybody runs away. The demon slayer has arrived. If you're doing that, if your children have the perception of you, they can't humanize you. So they can't see you as, this is just a guy who's he didn't plan to spoil his car, almost he's down on his luck right now, and this is supposed, because you made yourself seem so unreachable and unattainable and so godlike, where it's like, so what's my own with you? Like, let me go and start my own family where they'll actually be loved. So it's not a thing of, I think, being kind to your parents. I think the parents need to like humanize themselves to their kids, and it makes it easier for your kid to be like, oh, she's just a girl. Like, a lot of younger girls see it now, where it's like, because they have this relationship with their parents, they're like, oh, she's just a girl. Like, at the end of the day, when this thing was like a coming of age experience, where it's like daughters realize that your mom is actually just a girl too. Same thing with their dad. Like, man, he's just figuring this out the same way I was, right? And that's knowledge of each other. It helps you give grace to them and be kinder to them, because it's like, hey, like.
Okay, I think that
So that's my bridge.
My own bridge would be that the Gen Xers, my generation, should be more open, in the sense that I always tell them that, first of all, have plan A, B, let that child be plan C, sort yourself out so that you are not emotionally and financially broken at the end of the day. Any money, I've seen parents that maybe they are supposed to, there was one Indian movie I watched, the man, his retirement plan, one of his sons came to meet him, he had 3 sons. One of his sons came to meet him that I want to invest in some business, blah, blah, I have this opportunity, I need this money, and he gave it. The other one came that the only car that the man got at retirement, he asked for the car that he needed it to commute, to work, and all of that. He gave it to them because he felt that at his retirement, he figured that himself and his wife would move from one child's house to the other. Unfortunately, after they came for the retirement, they said they couldn't take the 2 of them together, so they had to split them. That was very saddening for them, but there was nothing they could do. So they split them. When they got to each child's house, the spouses were treating them shabbily and they couldn't even do anything about it. So anyway, they came across one young man that the man had invested in, who was a shoe shiner, and said, no, you're too bright to do this. So he sent him to school, he invested in him. So he came across that young man again. And the young man was like, where's your wife? He told him, said, no. He took him in, and the wife said, taking care of them. Guess what? The man now was very sad that how can his sons treat him like this after all that investment. The man now started writing his personal story in a journal, a book, and he published it. He was living with this other man, the other guy he invested in. That one said he was going to, anything they wanted, gave them a car, gave them accommodation, just sorted them out. So he started writing his book. And then the book was a bestseller. And so they went for the launch of the book with this other young man. His 3 kids showed up to say that, oh, it's our father, we know him. And he just walked past them and ignored them. And so these are the kind of things that we are talking about. So I would say, wrapping up, to say that if my generation have a plan A, B, C, D, but most importantly, like she said, connect with your children so that there is that relationship. You know, don't just assume that because you are their parent, they're going to care for you. Connect with them. Make sure that there's a connection. So for the ones that have connected and the parents are still not bulging, have plan A, B, C, and D. 3, invest in other people. Because this man, if he had not invested in that young man, his children would have left him. So invest in other children. Some people come and live with you, you treat them like trash, take care of your children alone. That's not right. You know, so invest in other people. You don't know where your returns. I believe in that seed time and harvest time. So if you invest in other people's development, growth, and all of that, and now, of course, like we said earlier, invest in yourself. Have a retirement plan. Sometimes the plan doesn't work. Inflation happens. Other things happen. We know all of that, but invest in other people. You won't go wrong with that. And just keep your head up and don't be too emotionally dependent so that you're not disappointed. I think it's a safe space to be. So I think with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you
And
not confuse you that you owe your parents duty of care. Now, the word owe in quotes, I'm not saying they should now shift all their responsibilities of what, but make sure that they have a roof over their head. They have things to eat. I'm not saying you should now buy the most expensive lace. If you want to, fine. But they're not naked. They're not looking raggedy. And I mean, that's just the basic thing that you can do. So thank you very much for joining our conversation. Would like to hear your thoughts.
Comment
Share,
down below.
yeah. And so let's take it beyond this space. Let's keep the conversation going on and move things forward and bridge the gap, hopefully, and make sure that we all end up in the right place. All right then, cheers. Bye-bye.
Love ya.